Welcome back, guys, to our Legacy playthrough of Destiny 1. We are continuing on with the Taken King, with Oryx himself defeated as far as the campaign is concerned. We move on with the story portion of things. Let's go ahead and go to Orbit and move on from that, shall we? Man, just sitting in the tower is so nice, like hearing the characters, like chatter, the stuff over the intercom, and like the music. It's just the atmosphere. I don't know. I feel like they, what was it? Marty O'Donnell, like he has some views that I don't agree with. Like and it's, I'm not going to go into the political aspect of it because like that doesn't interest me. I just think if you're a big name figurehead, and even if you're not, and you've got opinions, that's fine. We all do. But like, there's a respectful way to present them, I think. And he has a tendency to not always do that. And I feel like, you know, because he is a recognizable face and name and the sounds, especially from the music he creates, you would think, you know, that he would take a little bit more caution in how he would go about that. But regardless, I think his direction and how he brought the music to life in Destiny 1, and he wasn't alone, but I do think someone with his magic touch, because music is honestly, the music and the sound is what really brings out a video game. There's so many other aspects that go into a successful video game, but those things stand out to me, and he was like a big one. And what was the other one? Marty O'Donnell and what was his name? God, I forget his name. Destiny 2 composer, and I have him like all over Spotify, but I'm drawing a blank right now. Salvatore, that's right, not Santoni. Salvatore, Michael Salvatore. He was also fired, you know, like 10 months ago. Like, Jesus Christ. Bungie just has no idea how to retain good, talented people. He's there, whatever, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, I feel like Salvatore and O'Donnell together made incredible music. But it's one of those things where you have to separate the art from the artist. If you don't like Marty O'Donnell, like, that's fine. It's not that I dislike him. I just don't like some of the things he says. He's probably not a huge piece of crap in person, but like, I don't know him, so who knows. But I do think that his art and music as art is, I mean, second to, I don't even know, because he's that good. And Salvatore was great too, but I don't know. I miss it. I think if you want to bring the Destiny magic back, you need to stop being free to play, and you need to have a better, you need to get your good music people back, Salvatore and O'Donnell. But that'll never happen. So I don't know. Anyway, moving on with the story aspect of the Taken King, we're doing Entropy's Pinnacle. I don't know what this mission is. I don't remember, but it is on Venus. Let's move on. Akora will probably have something to load in to say.
The search to root out the Taken on Venus has led us to some dark places. None are darker than the heart of the Vex. If my information is correct, the Blight now curls around the heart of their citadel. This must not stand.
I don't remember this mission. I'm sure it'll come to me as soon as we're in it a little bit, but don't tell me we're at the patrol point.
The assault on the House of Wolves gave us detailed information about the Citadel Spire. By all indications, the heart of the Blight is there, at the top of the tower. Good luck, Guardian. May your path through the darkness lead you to the light.
I do think that's one area that, like, this didn't really bother me that much, like, when D1 was kind of just like, you know, doing its thing, and the Taken King was a really great time until you were all done with everything. But I feel like Destiny, like, you're on this massive sprawling planet, right? You're on Venus, then you go to Mars, and you go to this planet and that moon and whatever. Like, can we stop loading into the exact same place and doing, like, 80% of the mission a recycled, like, other mission with, like, 20% stuff tacked onto the end of it? Like, we could literally be going anywhere else, and we're not. It's crazy to me. I don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand in that, yeah, you know, from a business decision, you're being lazy, and it's easier on developers just to recycle the same stuff. But, like, to players, like, that friggin' sucks. Also, this is chaotic right now.
The roots of the Citadel go deep into the heart of the planet. The spire is the metal trunk of a very, very big tree. Sort of.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want the game to feel big and sprawling, but like they've said it many times, Destiny has often suffered, even in D1's like top peak days, D1 is as wide as an ocean, but not even as deep as a puddle. Like, there's just so little you can do, little you can see, interact with, whatever. It's just, I don't know. You need someone in charge of the game and management that'll let you do more and like really build out a fully open world experience. This is not open at all. It's just so linear. You're just basically running down a bunch of alleys. Oh, I was wondering why you weren't showing up on radar. It's just like a bunch of alleyways. Like, there's no deviation. You have one path forward and you just shoot everything along the way. That's so uninspired. Halo was like that, and it got better over time. Well, I mean, I guess. Halo Infinite seems to be a disaster. I haven't played it much, but like, that's the thing, is like, those were the eras and the limitation of the technology to a certain extent. And I say that loosely because obviously Elder Scrolls Morrowind was a big, vast, open RPG among others that was available on the first Xbox that Halo came on. And 2, and then 3 came out in the 360, but then you had Oblivion, and it's like, there have been a lot of games that have really pushed the hardware's limits, specifically the Xboxes, and now you're gonna have a hard time convincing me, like, you know, to feel differently when you're running a PlayStation 5 in modern day. It's just, I don't know. Bungie wants to take the easy way out and charge everyone an arm and a leg and do FOMO and, you know, get you to pay, like, give you really crappy looking gear that you have to work your butt for, like, just so you can pay for cosmetics. Like, that's how their entire model is, and it's disgusting, and I really hope PlayStation
Skolas? Crazy Kel, Angry
fixes
Paul?
that.
Can we go back to that? I prefer them to the Taken any day.
And I think they will. I really do. So far, every prediction I've ever had about Bungie has happened. Every person who sucked has left the company. Every person who's made bad decisions has left the company. Like, I think it's happening. I'm not saying that I'm a genius and I'm right. It just makes sense. Sometimes it takes a long time. And Luke Smith did a lot of great work in Taken King, but I think his head got so big that he lost sight of what fans wanted, and he wanted to do what he wanted, but he wasn't willing to mold it around a first-person shooter. It just didn't work. What he wanted for the game just did not work on Destiny as a whole. And it could have. I just don't think, you know, some gaming journalist with no development experience was the guy to push all that. And like, who am I? Like, I'm just
trying to knock us off that platform. Oh, the Taken really are insufferable.
But like, then again, like, I'm just some guy on YouTube who plays games. Like, what do I know? And I guess that's really what it comes down to. You need to have someone with a vision. And I don't know. Like, I guess I shouldn't knock his background because, like, he loved video games and he was in journalism and that's all cool. But like, I don't think Luke Smith was the guy to make it happen. And he got up so high at Bungie that I just don't know. We'll never know what the conversations were like, or who the person was stopping all this from happening. Was it just bad choices by Luke Smith? Was it Jason Jones and his hubris? Was it Pete Parsons wanting to get more cars? Like, I really don't know. So I don't want to dog on Luke Smith too much, but he's said and done a lot of things that I think were moronic for Destiny's lifespan. Taken King was great, but I would be hard-pressed to believe that he was single-handedly responsible for what's great about the Taken King. But since then, I feel like every decision they've made has been bad. Destiny 2 has just not been... It's been decent, in my opinion, at best. But it's always been repetitive. Destiny 1 never felt that bad. In content routes, like between Destiny, the Taken King and Rise of Iron, like, that's fine. Go play other games. Like, it wasn't meant to be a live service thing. But we loved Destiny so much, we wanted more content. We wanted more Taken King. Rise of Iron delivered a lot of really cool stuff. Yeah, it was reissued raids and all that, but it was still awesome. And I had a great time with it. Destiny 2 just feels meh. This entire playthrough is just me dogging on Destiny 2. I don't know. I'm trying not to be so negative about it, because, like, I don't want to be that guy, but that is annoying. Who just hit me? I don't know. Sit me in a room with people that can make it happen, and I'll fix Destiny, is what I'm saying. waiting for an opening, but it didn't happen. Uh-oh. Nice. Okay, let's see. Do we have... What do we got? I want to freaking get this to be maxed out. I really want this to be done. I don't know. I think mostly what I'm saying isn't making sense. Like, I know how I feel and what I mean, but I can't find the right words. Oh boy. Damn it, another one of these guys. Think. Exotic drop? Ugh. They must have nerfed that to hell.
You sent Oryx screaming back to the Ascended Realm, and still his echoes stain our system. That is why you are here, Guardian. Only you are strong enough to stand against the terrors in the night.
Damn right. These things never opened up for us, right? There's a lot of stuff out there that I wonder, like, what are you? Looks like it was just a remnant that they never cleaned up, sticking off to the side. There's probably ways to skate across or fly across if you're using probably like Garrison and a sword or something like that as a Titan. I don't know. I feel like, man, I know the game that I want Destiny to be, and I just, in my mind, I know exactly what it looks like. I know exactly what it feels like. I know exactly what I want, and whether or not people would have like, if they were to disagree with my thoughts, because like I'm a nobody, right? Like I don't have development experience, but I feel like I'm imaginative enough to come up with something to, I don't know, satiate, satisfy, please, and delightfully surprise people that are fans of the Destiny genre. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if ever I was given the chance, Sony ever sat me down and was like, hey, you're that idiot running his mouth on YouTube. We think you have some brilliant ideas. Help us make Destiny a better game. I'd be like, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. And I can make it happen. But I said it before, you know, you need to have a large open world, see anywhere, or everywhere you see, go anywhere type of approach to it. And there needs to be mystery and wonder and unique special encounters. Like, I want a game in the Destiny universe where I can play it for hours and still discover actual secrets. Like the secrets that Bungie talks about, like there's not any, right? Every once in a while you find like an exotic mission or something, but like you never really find any actual secrets. It's always like story beats or something that the game gives you. It's never anything the player is actively going to find. Yeah, again, a couple of secret exotic missions, like a portal opening up on one planet and it takes you to like some unique mission, but all that stuff is usually time gated. Bungie typically announces it and then people make YouTube videos and talk about it. But like you have open world RPG games like, you know, Elden Ring or one of the Elder Scrolls games or whatever, and it's like you could just play for hours and find things that no player has ever seen or experienced, or it's such a rare encounter, or like a unique weapon sitting on a corpse at the top of a mountain, and then you get up there and there's like a big boss or something that shows up to challenge you so you can, like, you know what I mean? Like all those things. Instead, it's all RNG based on like exotic drops and engrams and BS and stuff like that in missions, and it's like all things that you come to expect. There's very little surprises. Any surprise is like, hey, here's this raid, we're not going to tell you who the boss is or how to beat it. That's the surprise. Like that's not it. That's not what I'm talking about when I say surprises. I want to like go out there and, I don't know, run into a village of, you know, non-light bearers, and they're being hunted down by like a rogue, you know, maybe light wielding warlord or something, and you got to put it down, you know? Like that's the other thing, is I think Bungie has never explored the idea of fighting another Guardian as far as a campaign, because if I remember correctly, they would get a mature rating if they ever had the player fight and kill another human. That's why we've only fought aliens, is because if you were to fight a human, it's a mature rating. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I read somewhere. But like, screw that, dude. Like, honestly, like mature ratings, video games, like who cares? Like, it means very little these days. Make it super open, like Elden Ring and Elder Scrolls, and have loot styles built around
Retrieval mission.
Destiny 1 meets Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3 type of thing. Just really flesh out the world, you know?
Oh dear.
I think Destiny Frontier shouldn't be an expansion or like a new direction that they're taking it. It needs to be a whole new game, because like their engine and all that stuff, like what little I know about it, like it's crap. Like all the bugs and errors and all the disasters and stuff that happen with it, like it's just not efficient at all. But like I know it's probably like really difficult. Like you can't just rebuild an engine. You can't just like migrate, you know, from one engine to another. They're not compatible. I understand the concept of that, but like that doesn't mean it's not worth investing in. If Sony is going to drop and waste over $400 million on Concord, which was a disaster from the get-go, like that should have been obvious to everyone, and they're going to drop another 3 point some odd billion like on Bungie, like I don't know, maybe take that money into developing a new engine and just starting over, you know? I don't know.
But his armies remain.
I have a dream for how Destiny would be, and I've even written notes down about like if I ever got in a position of starting a video game company, how I would go about it, like story wise. I don't know. I've always liked the idea of toying with the concept of like that sort of thing, but you guys don't care about that. Anyway, let's move on. Blighted Worlds. Work with K to court Involved to wage the taken war across Earth, Mars, and Venus. A haze of blight still hangs low over our worlds. Guardian, Oryx has been banished from our realm, but his army still stalks the Earth, Mars, and Venus. Work with the Vanguard, Zavala, Ikora, Cade, aid their efforts to cleanse the system so that you and I may speak if the great darkness that still lingers. K.
Watch the darkness.
Come on.
So now we're just going to go here and get
Step up.
dialogue from each character. Maybe a little bit more stories or something.
You are the sigil.
What is this? Bog Wilds?
It's true.
I don't like that wire going around it. Wait, that's not... Is that from my... That's actually from my cloak, isn't it? I don't know. How are the boots? Ah, the feathers. The boots are cool. I like how it's got, like, actual boots, and it's not like the little ninja feet that we always got.
Venus will, for a time,
From,
past once more.
yeah, that's from my cloak. Never mind. I don't like that wire, though. I thought that was part of the arms, but it's not.
To the present.
Okay, so what is the next quest? Blighted. Worlds have taken war. Work with Kato. Okay, but like, it doesn't seem like they have anything. Okay, whatever.
I got a pool running on what sort of crazy you'll kill next.
That was a great way to end that transition from being on Earth in the tower and loading up into space. Speaking of space, I don't know if we need space battles, but I'm good with it. See, like these are reskins. You can see how like the shorts area don't actually align or don't actually change with everything. That's the thing, is like reskinning stuff like that's really lame. Some lame stuff there, Bunge. All right, where are we going now? Set destination. We still have moon stuff to do. We still have that mission. I don't know what they want though. I still can't do this. Dread Patrol. Okay, this must be something that was holding me back. Let's go and do that now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry to ramble and like talk about these sorts of things, but like it's just something that's on my mind. Like there's so many things that I would want to see. Like in a perfect world. Is there dialogue here?
So
Let's see.
Zavala was here a while ago, gave this big speech about how proud he is, how well the Dreadnought campaign went, and you know how he gets. Anyway, he gave me a list here, setup locations for patrol beacons. We need them planted and tested if we're gonna get that tub under control. You plant them, you test them, I'll keep you company.
We'll see once it loads in. There's a thought. I don't know.
Right. First on the list is an intel beacon. Helps us get the lay of the land, gives us updates on troop movement, skirmishes, and the like. You've got the marker. Go do your thing.
Okay. So what I was thinking, okay, like if Destiny ever got rebooted or whatever, this is what I would like to see. So, I would love to see, like, you pick one of the 3 standard classes or races or whatever, right? You're Exo, you're Human, you're Awoken. And they all have their own backstory as to, like a human me see. There's a knight. Let's pick him off. I don't want to deal with the boomers. So you have a human. He's on Earth. It's modern day, whatever that means. And all of a sudden, an unseen force of aliens, like, takes over. Now, you choose your character, very in-depth customization. You design exactly how you want your character to look. You pick your sex/gender. I think sex is probably the way to go, because you have the two. There's like a huge classification of genders. I'm not here for that, but like, right, that's what they say. But there's sex, which is male and female. So you choose, your male or your female or whatever.
Okay, the beacon signal is coming in loud and clear. In fact, I've already got a ping. Marking a hot zone for you. Go get a look at the fighting, see what you can see.
So you pick whether you're, male or female, and you pick whether or not you're, gay or straight, hear me out. I know it sounds silly. Let me explain. And the whole idea is as a human, you pick your race, ethnicity, your gender, your sex, whatever it is that, I don't know, whatever, just so you can really feel like you're putting yourself in the shoes of the character, okay? I'm not talking about, like, any socio-political, like, pronoun, like, craziness or whatever. Like, just keeping it light, keeping it real, let the character, be you. I want you to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and then design your character in Destiny to look and feel just like you are, right? Where's this at? It says up. Where exactly do you want me to go? Oh, way up there. Okay, so there's that. And the whole idea is that your character is on Earth during an alien attack. And we don't know, I don't remember what aliens first showed up, like, on Earth. I don't know if it was I think it was the Fallen before the Cabal, I think, but I'm not sure. I'm not a huge lore master, but let's just say it's the Fallen for the sake of the conversation. So the Fallen show up, and you're out, like, at a picnic with your family, like, it's fine. Like, there's a whole mission where it's just you walking around as a normal human being. You've got your kids, you've got your pets, whatever, and you've got your spouse, your partner, whatever that is, depending on whether you chose your married, whatever, just to kind of feel that, because, like, it's all part of the story. And then, and so I keep sliding here. Okay. And so you do your thing, aliens attack, it turns out to be the Fallen, they kill your family right in front of you.
Data's good. Second marker should have been downloaded to your Ghost. Intel beacons are Ikora's favorite, by the way. Never met a woman who appreciated ambient temperature and energy readings as much as she does.
Okay, so they're killed, and you're, like, the only survivor if you're human. And that's the whole thing. It's like, how in The Last of Us they do this really well. You start out in The Last of Us as playing as Joel's daughter, and then you get really attached to her. You get attached to the relationship that she has with Joel and all that stuff. And then, spoiler alert, if you haven't played it, that's on you. It's been out for a long time. She dies. And then fast forward, you play as Joel, and he's a completely different person, and it's just the pain and suffering that he's felt losing his daughter. Think of it like that. You're playing as a version of yourself, a human version of yourself that you've come to love and attach, the peace, the serenity, the family that you have, and then the Fallen come and take over Earth, whatever, kill your family and all that nonsense. And then you are woken up, way down the road as a human who's now a guardian. And the whole thing is if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a lore master, because I'm not, when you get revived from being a corpse to now a guardian, you lose your memory. But here's the unique thing. The storyline is, like, your character has little daydreams of his actual memory, or her memory, or whatever, their memory. And the whole thing is that you want to remember. You want to remember what this is, and the Ghost is telling you, like, hey, like, I can't do that, like, this is a thing, like, Guardians don't remember, but, like, that's a big plot point, is that you want to remember. And, I was gonna say something, hold on.
The marker's up and running. The eggheads love these scoot and scan missions. I just like them as an excuse to stretch the old legs. I'm feeding you data for a few nearby energy spikes. Get moving.
Okay, so you want to remember, and that's a huge part of the plot, is that the Ghost maybe finds a way to restore your memories, and it's against protocol. Like, it's not something the Ghosts are supposed to do. I don't know, something, right? I haven't fully fleshed out how it all works, but, like, that's the general idea of your character, who you are, is that you want to know more. And it's like, because, like, one of the things that they don't really do in Destiny is, like, when you wake up, like, I don't know if they ever really fully explain, like, who you are, what your background is, or whatever, right? Because you don't remember anything, so it doesn't matter what your background is. Like, if you were a soldier, if you were fighting the good fight, maybe you were in the army and you were fighting the fallen, like they never really say that I recall. Maybe it's in the lore somewhere, but like the campaign doesn't tell you. And so it's like, why should this character give a shit about fighting in a war of aliens however many hundreds of years in the future after they died, because this ghost is telling you? Like, it's just nuts. But this gives you purpose. This gives you a reason. You want revenge on the alien race in particular, like, for taking away from you, like, what you lost. So, like, it makes sense to me. Anyway. Oops, that's gonna bring in Taken, I think. And so that's part of the whole, like, character development in the story, is, like, it explains, like, why this character is doing things with the ghost and fighting on behalf of the Traveler or whatever. And, you know, and you just have all these memories of barbecues and family cookouts and picnics, and you're pushing your kids in a stroller. Or maybe you don't want kids and your character is like a, you know, is a cat parent or something like that, or a dog parent or something. And so, like, the whole thing is that your cat or your dog was your huge best friend, and you're, you know, just kind of living your life, and they're taken from you, you know, whatever. Maybe you're single and the only thing that you have is a dog, or like whatever the scenario. Like, really make it elaborate, like make it your own. Because, like, I don't
gonna send you off with a pithy joke, but Air started droning on about the pathways into darkness or some damn thing. Got distracted. Anyway, one more beacon to go, if you'd be so kind.
Because, like, I don't know you. Right? I don't know your thing. Maybe you're straight, maybe you're gay, maybe you're, you know, bi or some other, you know, thing that you identify as, and that's your life, whatever. That's totally fine. Your character should reflect that. Now, I don't, like, it shouldn't, like, I think that you should be free to, you know, express yourself however you want. I think video games, if you're creating a character, should give you that flexibility. I think that's important. And I think Destiny and Bungie as a whole has been very, very supportive of various communities, whether it's just an image thing or they actually care, I don't know. But, like, they've been, like, very supportive of, you know, Asian communities this, and Latina community that, and Black History Month, and, like, you know, gay, you know, pride, and, like, whatever. And, you know, say what you will about all that, you know, call it woke or whatever if you want to. Like, I'm not gonna call it that. I feel like we should support each other, and I think games should be, you know, should have a level of reflection of who you are when you're playing it, you know? Because, like, I don't know about you, but, like, when I'm playing a game, I want the character to most of the time look like me. Granted, I am playing a female right now. But like Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 give you so few options that it's, like, embarrassing. What is that noise? What is that? Anyway, so I just thought that'd be cool that you could, like, create a family based off your character that pushes your motivation to, like, be like, hey, Ghost, like, I'll help you do X, Y, and Z and fight this army if you help me get my memories back, type of thing.
Beacon is hot. Yeah, that's a good signal. I'm getting some data on Taken patrols around the ship. We've already got a hotspot on the board. Go clear out that Blight, Guardian.
And maybe, like, one of the side things is you're exploring this big, vast open world, and you're trying to learn about, you know, a time that's long been forgotten. It's hundreds of years in the future, maybe even more than 1,000 years. I don't know. The storyline would need to be fleshed out that way. But, like, you know, you don't remember anything. So you're trying to find an old library, maybe with books. Maybe you're trying to find, you know, a history of the address. Maybe you want to go and find your old house. Like, imagine in The Last of Us, Joel has traveled so far and done so much, you know, barring what happens in The Last of Us 2. And, like, he goes back to his old house just so he can see, you know, what went on. Like, we don't know Joel's wife, I don't think she's ever explored or shown, because it's not about that. It's about him being a single father and whatever. I think maybe she died of, like, an illness. I don't recall. But, like, the point is that his wife and the mother of his daughter could be anyone. Like, well, you know. And so I think that's one of the things that I think would be really cool to sort of do, create your Joel Miller family thing, and then have your character, like, have it all ripped away from you and have that be your character's driving force. Because imagine you're the player and you pick out, like, this perfect idyllic family for you that fits who you are, what you represent, like, what your passions are, because, like, you know, maybe you don't want kids or something. So, like, you wouldn't be forced to have a partner and have kids. Like, that's part of your creative character scenario. And then you make this perfect thing, you're living out this perfect little life, and then it's all wiped out in a brutal fashion by the Fallen, or maybe the story, you know, calls for the Hive or the Cabal, or, you know, whatever. I don't know. something like that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's in like more of a present time where you're where they're, you know, in the time of the Guardians already existing, the Traveler's already here or something, which would make sense because that's why the Fallen would be on Earth, I guess. And like, you know of the light, you know of the Guardians and whatever, but you're not one. You're just a normal human being or something. And, you know, you die. And then, yeah, I guess it would have to be like that, huh? Because there would be no reason for the Fallen to be on Earth if the Traveler wasn't already there. Please tell me I can make that. Okay. So yeah, so then, you know, and then you get resonated. Kind of like what happened to Uldren, right? Like Uldren was the prince and he was an awoken and whatever, and then he died and is resurrected and he doesn't remember any of the things that happened to him. And Marasov is like desperately trying to rekindle the relationship with her brother, but she can't in the same way because he doesn't remember. He's not the same person. It's just his body. It's not his mind and his experiences. He by all accounts, he's basically he's a different person. So I do believe that there's some elements that can be worked with that. I think the Exo like storyline would be super interesting. Like you're in modern times, maybe you're a scientist with Clovis Bray, you know, maybe there's aliens or something of some sort, an enemy closing in on your facility or whatever, and like the only thing you can do to save yourself is to like pull your mind out of your human body and not copy it, not replicate it, but physically move it out of your human body and move it into an exo body. What is that? What are you looking for? Why did you do that? Why did you make that noise? I don't know why he did that. But like, you know, and then that something happens, and I don't know how exos become guardians because they're robots. I don't know the history of that. But, you know, if so facto something happens, like, you know, you get resurrected and you become an exo. I don't really get it. Like, I think that would be kind of cool, though. You were a scientist or whatever, and like it all comes back to you wanting to know your memories, and that alters your story experience. I think that would be really cool. Maybe that's something that happens as well, like you're an exo, like you're a scientist, and the only way to save your family is you have to move them into exo bodies, and then you die, and then you wake up and you don't remember them. And maybe that's a relief for you because you don't remember them and they didn't make it. And maybe you just like, you know, months after their death and you get resurrected or something like that, you're like, I don't know who I am. I want my memories back. And the ghost is trying to protect you, saying like, no, you don't want your memories back because you lost your whole family. It's better this way. And the ghost is trying to protect you from yourself. I think that would be fantastic. The Awoken is the only one I couldn't really think of a good way to introduce that character, because that one's hard. Because I was reading some lore. I know I have to go that way. I was reading some lore on the Awoken, and unless I misread it, which is definitely a possibility, Mara Sov has been alive for like 1 billion years with a B, like in a pocket dimension. Like, my understanding is that she was a human or something on a ship that was escaping the Earth during the collapse, I think, right, where the darkness and the light were fighting. And hey, this is where we landed. And in that scenario, something happened where when the darkness arrived and the light met it, like in the soul system, she was outside on like, I don't know, the outer exterior of the ship doing something to like help the ship in a problem or something that it had. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't give me a hard time and attack me for not knowing all the facts, okay? This is my memory. This is just, you know, this is lore of a video game, all right? If you're getting pissed off about this, you're a loser, all right? Just let's just talk, okay? Just be respectful in the comments, all right? But something happened, like she's on a part of the ship where she's exposed to the force of the light and the dark, and she's like right at the point where the light and the dark hits, and that is what makes her an Awoken, I guess. And the people on the ship as well, and all the other stuff, they all become Awoken. She becomes a queen. Something happens. I don't know the lore. And they're in a pocket dimension for billions of years, for 1 billion years, or millions of years, or whatever. Something. And that's how the Awoken are born. I don't know all the specific details about it, but that's like the general idea. Oh shit! Pop this. And so I don't know how you do that. I mean, I guess you could probably do like an Uldren thing where it's like, hey, you're an Awoken and you've got family and you die and then you come back to life and they are trying to tell you like, you know, who you are, kind of like Uldren's thing. That's the best I got. Because that's a hard one. I don't know a lot about the Awoken, and the Exos I don't fully understand either. But I do get, like, that's probably super easy to work with because it's just like you're putting yourself in a robot body to be immortal. That's kind of the idea. As to how they become guardians, I don't really understand how or why that works like that. It doesn't really make sense to me why you'd have a robot be a guardian. But I don't know. Out of my face. Is it just these guys? I thought there was a yellow bar, like a boss that was going to show up here. But, like, that's what I would like to see to, like, flesh out the characters. I think that would be a really great way to evolve Destiny and have it be, like, an invested experience. Because, like, I don't care about my character other than the gear that it earns. Like, I don't know anything about this character's history. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they come from. You know, I chose their... Oh, shit. I chose their race. That's the boss. Like, there's nothing special about my character in that way. You know what I mean? Oh, God. So, and I think that's a problem. You care about Joel so much in The Last of Us. You care about Ellie so much because you know who they are, what they've been through, where they've been. You know where they're likely going to end up and where they're going. And you hear and feel all of their pain. And I think that's a really important thing that Destiny doesn't have. And I think Sony doesn't like that because Sony cares a lot about story games. And I think that's how you fix a lot of... Man, I cannot get a freaking...
And that's a taken pack.
Exotic to save my life.
Good work. You know, Zavala gets all cranky if you have more important things to do than plant beacons. Not a problem today. Come on back.
Man, I've been burning through these and I'm not getting anything. And, like, I don't... You're never going to convince me that that wouldn't be a good idea. Hey, I just noticed on my channel we just hit 46,000 subscribers. Thank you, guys. You're never going to convince me that that idea isn't worth pursuing in some way. Like, obviously, you'd have to flesh it out. You'd have to get some brilliant lore writers and some engineers to put that together and make it feel like something really impactful and meaningful. But I think that it should be a sense of loss in the beginning, is connect with your character, connect with the family, connect with its roots, understand where it is, what it's like to be a non-guardian for a little bit, like one mission, more or less. Not even like a mission, because, like, it's not a mission, right? It's just like a starting intro onboarding experience to connect with your characters. And then kill them all Game of Thrones style and, like, just take it away. And then kill your character too. And then they suffer and have to figure out a way to, like, get their memories back, or have the choice where they don't get their memories back. Because, like, a game like Elden Ring, for example, has a bunch of different endings, and that's that. I think that would be something that Destiny could use, is different endings for your character. Choose whether or not you want your memories back. Do you want to suffer? Do you want to just deal? Do you want to accept that, like, hey, you can't change the past? And then tease, like, maybe you can with the Infinite Forest. I don't know. Endless potential with the Infinite Forest, by the way. Drives me mad that they don't do more with that. I don't know. Love it or hate it, I will never change my thoughts on that being a good idea. I think in a perfect world, Destiny would have a brilliant onboarding experience that would emotionally move you, tug you, pull you in all sorts of different directions, and then leave your feelings in the gutter, in the rain, as you sit there and you watch as everyone that you love is dead around you, and that motivates you to get back at the aliens. Because that would make sense. Like, the ghost could not manipulate you, but motivate you. Like, hey, like, there's nothing really I can do about the fact, but you're a guardian, you're chosen, like, I'm supposed to find you. Like, I understand that you lost everything and you want to, you know, get your feelings back and or your memories back and all that stuff, but, like, you know, the Fallen were the ones who took your family away, or the Cabal or the Hive or whatever. Like, there's some missions that we have out there that could really use your new skills to the test and stop them and whatever, and then build from there somehow.
Just one of those things we have to do as loyal Vanguard members. Yeah.
Uphold the honor of the tower, keep the dream of the city alive, and yeah, look, that would have been way less fun working with someone else. Good job.
You did me a favor today, Guardian. I won't forget it.
What is this? The Legion's beachhead? Stomp a Cabal assault team from detonating the Dreadnought's core. Complete the strike. Shield Brothers. That's right, I do want to do that. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to do Rise of Iron first. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to knock out the... This is the hard part, because there was Year 1 strikes that I didn't do, and I have to figure out which ones are actually part of Rise of Iron, so I can do those separately. I don't know. I had this whole idea in my head how I would do this. I think, what do we have? So you have Fallen Saber as a Rise of Iron strike, according to what I'm reading. Story, The Wretched Eye. I don't remember that one. Oh, that's a cool one. That's a rad one, actually. That was a nightmare of a Nightfall. That's the ogre with the eye beam thing. Like yeah, that one's a special one. That's really freaking cool. And then you have the Abomination Heist. Is that it? No. The Wretched Eye, Abomination Heist, and Sepix Perfected, and then you have Wrath of the Machine. Okay, so we could probably do that. What strikes does... Well, I wonder if... Because... Let's see. Undying Mind, Echo Chamber, Story. The Sunless Cell. That one's fun. We'll do that too. To strike. Story. Shield Brothers. Story. Winter's Run, Taken Strike. Summoner Circles, a story. Kingsfall Raid, Return to the Throne, a story, and then Blighted Chalice. Yeah, I'd have to figure out how I want to do this. Because I didn't do the year 1 strikes, I have to figure out... Oh, you dick. I just got kicked. Because of that, I don't know... Damn it, I didn't accept that. Does that... Hopefully they didn't bug out. Did it give me the quest? Like, do I have to accept it? I don't think it gave it to me. No, I'll have to go back and accept that. That's fine. I might... So the strikes for Rise of Iron, Fallen Saber strike. Yeah, because I think I have to do... Well, let's find out. The Shield Brothers is a strike that I have to do, but I don't know if that opens up more story. It depends. If I can do the story missions without doing the strikes, then I will just run through all the story missions, and then I'll do the strikes at the very end after I beat Rise of Iron, because there's barely anything with Rise of Iron. King of the Mountain, Walls Come, Plague Lands 1. Yeah, there's barely anything for Rise of Iron, because this is post Taken King. So there's Act 7, which is the Taken King, according to this log of like all the missions. The Taken War is what I'm in now. But like, it has Shield Brothers listed as the first thing to do, despite the fact that we've done all the other stories. So I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Reddit, man, you can't really trust anything you see on the online. Let's grab this mission. But anyway, I don't know. I've talked a lot about a bunch of things. I don't know. Either you guys are going to hate it and lambaste me in the comments, or you're going to not say anything at all, or you're going to love it. I don't know. Wow, everybody has something for me now. Okay, let's grab these missions real quick.
Once more into darkness.
Sunless Cell.
Push back.
It's a strike. Speak to Shax. The Sword. I'm not going to do all those, but I will take a look. Hivebane. Sword that you carry. Is that the dreaded Willbreaker Sword of Oryx? I don't. What are you talking about?
Superb work.
Yeah, he wants the Hadium Flakes for his stuff. I'm not doing that. I already have all 3 on me. I'm not going to bother doing those again. Let's grab this strike from Cade as well. Does the Core have one too? So the Cabal don't do things halfway. They crashed a warship right in the Dreadnought. On Imperial orders, they made a beachhead for the Legion to assault Oryx's throne. Kicked off a new operation with plans to blow the ship's core. If the Dreadnought blows, the blast will crisp everything between us and Saturn's rings.
Good hunters paid for this info.
I love that strike. It's my favorite strike.
You're the best we have.
Complete patrols. You access a patrol for high-value targets. Eliminate a high-value target. That's dumb.
My trust.
So all you've been useless throughout this playthrough. Why are they all at a core right now?
I'll be
Strikes.
watching you, Guardian.
Okay, so we have all that now. Okay, so we've got our orders. I will decide in between this episode and the next how I'm going to approach this, because this is kind of a tricky scenario. But we'll worry about that later. For now, thanks for listening to my ramblings. Thanks for hearing me talk about ideas that'll never happen. Those are just my dreams. So feel free to dump all over them if you want. Oh, we got stuff on the reef. What's going on at the reef? We'll take a look at that in the next episode too. But anyway, if you enjoyed this episode of the playthrough, you can show your love by hitting the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. Any feedback for me, leave in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, don't forget to take a look at the description box. There are some links there that might be of interest to you, one of which is a link to the Marcanine community Discord server. If you want to be part of that group, you can chat with me directly. Otherwise, just know that I appreciate you and your time, and I hope to see you when we continue with more of our playthrough of our legacy playthrough of Destiny 1's The Taken King, and then beyond with Rise of Iron. But anyway, that's it for me. Take care, be well. See you next time.